valued travel partners, I know last webinar, which was I think August 17th. Can you believe this will be our last webinar in August? Time is flying beyond belief. Hi, everybody. It's Carmen Roy. That's right. Big Sales. I am back for our Connect with Princess webinar. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about today. And I promised the team, first of all, I'm not in the studio. So let's start with that. I am at home for various reasons. So everybody's very nervous, especially the Wizard of Oz, which is Joe Franco, because he's behind the curtain making sure everything functions. So I want to start by a quick recap, and I promise it won't be a long monologue. But even before we start that, I want to as remind everybody, our thoughts, our prayers are with Maui, with the people of Hawaii. I can't even begin to tell you what all of us are doing. I think the whole world knows, right? So let's continue that happening, and then I all the positivity that we can. It is about being united. And then last week I was in Vegas. I was attending a conference. I'm not going to say which one. I think all of you know, unless you're under a rock or if you follow me. And it was really wonderful to visit face to face with all of our travel partners. Had a lot of one-on-ones, and I even have to do a shout out to Kelly Miller. Who knew? Kelly Miller, my number one fan. I'm loving it. She gave me such amazing feedback and comments. But so, hello, Mary from Fresno. Just get to the point. Okay, okay. This is exactly it. We will get to the point. But here's the point. What I want you all to know is when I do these webinars, I don't see your comments. And apparently, last webinar, when I got off, my poor assistant Attilio he was in shock. And I'm like, what's going on? He goes, oh my goodness, the comments were horrific. And I'm like, what do you mean they were horrific? He goes, yes, everybody wanted you to get to the topic of Princess Plus and the changes. And instead you had training. And I'm like, okay, but this is a travel partner platform. Well, let me tell you, in the last 2 weeks, I have received so many messages from our travel partners. I did not realize, so I want to apologize to all of you, that we do have guests that attend this webinar. How that happened, I do not know, but trust me when I tell you. Remember, I've only been here 16 months. So I kind of like inherited this. And I will tell you that we are working on a solution, okay? Because this has always been a platform about our travel partners, and it will continue to be. And so one of the things with these comments was, and the team is worried, bushy tail, fluffy tail. I don't know who that was, but my assistant kept sending me screenshots. Folks, I got tough skin. None of us are perfect. We're selling boat rides. We want to help you sell. So whether you're a travel partner or a guest, just know our intentions are always good. We love what we do. We have a passion for cruising and a passion for Princess, and we'll always do what's right. So please, please keep it nice and kind, okay? It does need to be for our travel partners. How the public got in here, I do not know, and I apologize, but we're working on a solution because this entire platform is all about our travel partners and how we've supported you and what we want to do because you are the rock stars. And without you, we can't succeed. It's as simple as that. So hopefully we got that across. So bushy, fluffy tail, if you're on, I'm going to give you my email. Let's just talk. I'll pick up the phone. I'm a big believer. So Q&As, yes, we will get to them at the end, and you have a lot, and we want to make sure that we address them. And then, of course, as always, we're recording it. So today I'm not in the studio, so it's not like I have a cast of thousands that are helping me. I think you all know it's always technical, and it's Murphy's Law, so if it's going to go wrong, it will. But I got to tell you, super excited because Marsha is back. Marsha. You were on
Hi,
vacation. How was the
everybody.
vacation?
Oh,
How
it was
was the vacation?
fantastic. It was fantastic. We had a great time.
Fantastic.
Thank
Really? Well,
you.
you know what? I missed you. You cannot leave again.
Oh,
You
I miss you
leave,
guys.
and all of a sudden, fluffy tail, bushy tail, I don't know what the tail's name is, became a trolling experience. Oh my God, Marsha,
Well,
where were you?
100% agree with what you said, and we're very close, Carmen. We're very close. Watch the TA newsletter and watch Carmen's updates, email from Carmen, because we will have a dedicated location, closed group for TAs only. So make sure you watch your
As it should
notifications.
be.
Yep.
What do I always say to you, Marsha? And don't move the slide because we have good news that we're starting this webinar with. Because after last one, I want to make sure everybody knows we're going to start with positivity because I don't know any other way. But Marsha, I got to tell you, at the end of the day, um, last week I was in Vegas and you know that storm. So I talk about Maui and the people of Hawaii. I was super worried about you in Southern California and all our teammates, obviously, because the Princess office is there. And I'm in Miami. Today happens to be the anniversary, 31 years of Hurricane Andrew, which was
Oh,
devastating
wow.
to South Florida. I know because I remember I got engaged 4 days after Hurricane Andrew.
Wow.
And I think back, and that's why everybody was nervous about the storm. I'm just happy everybody's okay, everybody's
Yeah.
safe, no loss of life. Then you throw in an earthquake to boot. I could not believe that.
That was the
I couldn't believe
weirdest
it.
thing. That was very
What's up with
weird.
that?
Yeah.
Very, very odd. So
Yeah.
I got to tell you, folks, I'm glad everybody's okay. And the most important thing is we sell boat rides. We're in the happiness business. I feel nothing but positivity, having been face to face with folks in Vegas, and business is back, travel is back. Just so you all know, we're going to correct this. This will be a travel partner forum, and when it's ready, we will let you know. Just a couple hellos. I had a hello from Las Vegas. I had a Three Treasures Travel from Las Vegas, Carol from San Francisco, and then I had also Linda from California. So thank you all for joining us. And yes, Stacy, we will make this for travel partners only. My mantra is I only know what I know, and the team never wants me to know anything.
Yeah.
So who knew? We're going to correct it in the meantime, because you know what? I want this to be a safe place for all of us, right?
Yes.
Remember Meet the Fockers? Everybody's in the circle of trust. I love that movie, by
Yes.
the way. I
Yes.
absolutely love that movie. So the reason I say it is because our travel partners, I want them to be free to make comments and give us the feedback, good, bad, or otherwise. Because you know me, absolutely, we take your feedback to heart, and I want to make sure we're
Yes.
doing everything we can do for you to make you more profitable. And so I want you to feel comfortable when we're talking. So I promise on this webinar, I'll behave myself. Is that okay, Marcia? Can I behave?
I gotcha. We got
No
each other.
way.
We're good.
TikTok, you got bets on this. So good news. Let's start with the good news, Marcia, because you know what?
Okay.
Nobody wants to. Okay, I think we have special effects.
So we have big news. I am very close to this news. I'm so excited. So we're so excited that we actually brought a special guest. So we have Miles Clark who's joining us. Got a drum roll? I didn't get a drum roll, Joe.
I'm hearing the down. There he is. And by the way, Miles is our director of guest port operations and destination services. Miles, thank you for. Is this your first time? This is your
It's
inaugural.
it's my first time on. Thanks for having me, Carmen.
Welcome, Miles, to connect with Princess. And obviously, just so you know, I think you heard that whole monologue that Joe says I should not do monologues. Sorry. The reality is we have both guests and travel partners. So I wanted to make sure that we started this webinar and everybody's saying, welcome,
With
Miles. So they can't
great
wait. No
news.
pressure, Miles. You got good news. Good news. How
Have
long have
great
you been
news.
with Princess, Miles? Real
I've
quickly.
been
I
with
love
the company for
interviewing.
9 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So share the good news. I got to know.
Absolutely. So, and this will be the first time that it is shared outside of a small group inside the company. But we are moving forward with having medallions available to ship to home for residents of Canada. This is one that's been very near and dear to my heart for a long time. We have a lot of employees and team members and awesome, awesome guests who are from Canada who have always wanted to make sure that they get the ability to have the medallion sent to home. So this is a very big deal for us. It's very exciting. And I'm so excited to be sharing it here on this platform with you guys.
It is huge. And Dave says, finally. So I got to tell you, Miles, oh, Canada, our travel partners in Canada are beyond amazing. They are beyond supportive. They love our brand. They love us. And every time I am with an amazing travel advisor or consultant in Canada, that's the first thing they ask me. When do we get medallions? Why is it only US centric? You're a global brand. So you have just started this webinar at what I would think the highest positivity level that we've had in a very long time. So I'll let you
Love that.
talk about the details, right? Because there's a certain date
Yep.
that this starts with. And as we all know, the medallions have to be ordered about 2 weeks before your sale. So I want to make sure we're very clear so nothing's left to disappointment, which is really
Absolutely.
critical.
So I'll run through the basics. So everyone should be aware of our ocean ready processes that did actually in the last couple of months go through some beneficial overhauls as well, where we're focusing primarily on our new green and our new blue lanes that are all focused on making sure that those guests who have done everything ahead of time and have their medallion are able to whisk through the terminal and onto our ships as efficiently as possible. And for those guests who just maybe couldn't quite get, they were waiting on a passport to get renewed or whatever it may be, to be able to finish those travel checklist items and still need to get their medallion picked up at the port, that they have a much more efficient way to do that in the blue lane today as well. And so with those changes, it was very important for us to make sure that now that green means you have to have your medallion, we want to expand the capabilities for others to get their medallions to home beyond residents of the United States. So we are
Okay.
starting with Canada. That is long overdue, and the same process applies when you're in the Ocean Ready process. You are basically selecting from a list of locations to enter your residential address to ship to. Today, the list is only United States and Puerto Rico, but on September 25th, that's the day, mark your calendars. On that day, when you wake up, you'll see there's a third option on that list, and that will be Canada. At that point, on September 25th, as long as your clients have a voyage that begins at least 13 days after that, because that's the cutoff time to order medallions to home globally, that's universal. As long as you've got a voyage beginning 13 days after that, they will be able to place that order, and it will be delivered to their house no later than 5 days prior to their embarkation. That's our kind of standard delivery SLA.
Couple questions for you, Miles, because they're popping up, and I want to make sure. Can we get them in Quebec? Quebec is part of Canada, right?
It is.
Yes, it
So
is.
Oui,
yes,
oui.
the entire
Je
nation, we
t'aime.
went through some extensive testing with Canada Post to make sure that the far reaches were able to be reached with the quality and time of delivery that we are expecting, and it was successful. So
So
everyone,
Michelle in Canada says we can't rely on Canada Post. So we are using Canada Post. It's not by courier.
it is Canada Post. There are
Okay.
scenarios where if there could be delays that we see on our side, that we do end up going through another fulfillment partner. But just like in the U.S., we use USPS. In Canada, we will be using Canada Post.
This is amazing. I can just tell because everybody's super excited. And if someone says if clients have already ordered medallions for next year, can they change it? So there's a lot of questions popping up. I promise our travel advisor will have answers for everything. This is huge, and I know how
Yeah.
long did it take you to test this? Because I remember asking you time and time
Months.
again, are we there
Yeah,
yet? Are we
it was a
there
good
yet?
chunk of this year that we went through some extensive testing with our fulfillment processes, with our supply chain, and with our postal partners in Canada, and some willing volunteers inside the company who have addresses all over
Yeah.
Canada. So
And a
this
huge thank you to Miles also for championing this for us, you
absolutely,
and your team, because we've been waiting
absolutely.
a long time and we're so excited that it's here.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
and I hope this is the start of more to come for the rest of the world as well. So
Yep.
I saw one question get popped up about the charge. The question was if a client ordered their medallion to port, will they be charged? Are they charged? They choose to pick up at the pier. So no
Yeah.
matter what, there is no charge for pier side pickup. But remember, if you don't choose to order your medallion to home, you will be going to the blue lane counter check-in to pick up that medallion. Um,
Yep.
so there's no charge
Oh,
for pickup at the pier.
while we're on costs, can you cover that piece for us?
Absolutely. So the shipping charge today for residents of US is $10 for anyone placing an order to have it delivered to home. For those guests who are on Plus and Premier packages, that shipping fee is waived for each individual. The same thing will be for Canada, although the charge for Canadian and eventually others will be $15 for the international shipping. So that 15, of course, will be waived, just like in the US market for those guests who are on Plus and Premier packages.
Great.
Pays to plus.
It pays to
So
Plus,
it
indeed.
pays to plus. And Miles, Marsha and I did a presentation about this streamlined embarkation, right? And I know we did not do it justice. No offense to Marsha and myself. It was probably me confusing everything because I'm always asking a million and one questions and it was new to
Yeah.
both of us. So I'm glad you're here because we want to talk about this because we did get a lot of questions about the green lane and the blue lane. What about the
Yeah.
assistance?
You're the
Are there going to
expert.
have to be, are there going to be longer lines now that they don't? And what about timing on your tickets? You know, now do we have to be there at 1, a 2, a 3?
All
Help.
great questions.
I'm so
So,
glad you're here.
I'll do a couple of high level touch points on this, and you let me know if there are any more specific questions as well. So the purpose of restructuring what green and blue lanes signifies for our arrival process is to ensure that those guests who do choose and elect to have their medallion sent to home receive the benefit to doing so. In our old model, Marcia and I may both have done all of our travel document steps ahead of time, and so we would have been considered green. But Marcia got her medallion to home, and I didn't. We're standing in the same line in the terminal. We're going through the same amount of time. What was the reason for Marcia to get her medallion to home? There wasn't as much of a benefit there. So the intention and the vision 9 years ago when we started in this transformative project for the corporation and for Princess, the whole purpose was to ensure that we had a methodology to let our guests do everything that they needed to get ready for their voyage so that they don't have to do anything other than, hey, a quick visual check. You got your medallion, you got your passport, you're headed right onto the ship. You don't need to be entangled at the check-in counters. You don't need to be doing anything like that. So that's the purpose of the change to now say, you've done all your travel document steps, you've got your medallion, you're just going to go through one of our staff to do a quick validation that you got everything in hand and that we are checking that off so that they can go. And we're not doing that to penalize anybody. The blue lane is not worse off. It's just you need a little bit of extra help. You might need, I just couldn't get my security photo right. It was wonky or whatever. So someone's going to have to help me complete that step of the travel checklist. No problem. We'll have the full complement of staff at the blue lane now to be able to do that and help those guests. And that's the best part, best place for us to be able to safely and successfully distribute those medallions.
Great
So that's on the green and
explanation.
blue side. We will always have a special assistance lane and an accessibility lane in all of our ports to accommodate those with mobility needs. And yes, Carmen, you had your hand up again.
Actually, I am just thinking this is
I have
phenomenal,
a-
right? Because I think
Yeah.
the concerns people have. So I always say it's always technical, Miles. The team laughs because it's Murphy's Law. If something's going to go wrong technically, it will happen to me. It does not in any. Marsha, you're not on mute. We
I
heard
know.
you laughing
I know.
because you know it's true, right? She's been with me when I
True.
travel. If somebody's going to be pulled out, trust me when I tell you,
We
it
always put a
will be
special flag on your booking, Carmen, whenever you're on the
yes. I love it because you know what?
to keep a lookout.
I love to speak from a personal perspective. And if life were so smooth, then I really can't talk about when we have challenges, right? So I always
Yeah.
love to be the one to experience stuff. And I got to tell you, and I've told them, and I'm sailing again in December. Even and my kids would not help me, Miles. They would not let me upload anything, not a picture. It didn't. They're like, you figure this out yourself, and I did,
Yep.
and it was wonderful. And quite
Yeah.
frankly, that was the concern, that and the scheduled time. So this is so important to
So,
have you
There's
let
talk
me talk about that as
them.
well.
Sorry,
And just to
Miles.
recap.
Before
Oh,
you
go
get
ahead.
into that, one more question.
Mhm.
As for the delivery, we had a question that popped up that was a good one, and probably a lot of people have this question. For the delivery, is the $15 per medallion or is it per cabin? Like,
So
so if I have
it's
multiple people in my
it's
cabin.
per order, and the way the Ocean Ready process works is if you've got a family of four, if I'm traveling with my whole family, I could be getting ready the whole family. I could be
Yeah.
checking everybody in and doing each one, and I may say, you know what, I'm going to order everybody's medallion and do it in one fell swoop. Well, that
Mm-hmm.
one order that I place will have the $15 charge. If
So
all
one address.
four individuals in the cabin decided they were going to get ready separately, and I got ready 6 months ago and my sister got ready 6 days ago and placed their own orders separately, each of those orders will incur their own charge for
Okay.
shipping.
But if you
That's why
order
we
them at all
encourage.
the same time to one address, it's $115
Exactly,
delivery.
exactly.
Got
And
it.
if you decide later on that you want to add additional accessories to that order, that will incur the additional charge as well.
or
And the
personalize it,
same
which is what
principle
I love.
applies to those guests who are on the Plus and Premier. If I have that waived because I'm part of the bundle package, then I can place my own order. I won't get charged. 5 days later, my sister could place her order. She won't get charged. So same
Mm-hmm.
principle applies. It's based on individual orders that charge is either there or is waived from being there.
Great. Thank
Um,
you.
Yeah. So on the arrival times, and this is again, I'll recap the benefits to blue and green in the long term to what we really, really want to get to in terms of a transformative arrival experience for our guests. And every little detail that we're talking about today and that you've seen happen so far in the last couple of months is all accretive to getting us to a point where we can reduce our curb to stateroom times to as little as they possibly can be. And part of that is making sure that we give our guests the freedom to arrive when they want to arrive within our check-in times. For some years now, we had been operating with these assigned check-in windows. And, you know, in principle, they can work well for certain operations that are, you know, heavy drive-up traffic, that are heavy, you know, I don't want to call it walk-in, but not so much dependent on, you know, inbound travel and air. And it's just not something that worked for Princess. Princess is a market that is really, really geared towards travel, that a lot of our guests come in on air or, you know, via transfers. And so we already know when they're going to be coming. There's no reason to make Marcia pick an arrival time when I know she's landing on Delta flight XYZ on one of our transfers, right? So for us, and especially for our world and port operations, we're going to be a lot smarter about what we're doing with the information we know that you've booked with us, that you've booked our Easy Air, that you booked our transfers. We can staff accordingly, and we can plan the operation around when those times will happen, and not have to force your clients and our guests into saying, well, I'm going to pick a time to come. The principle was right, but in practice, I believe that it should be up to the guests when they arrive. And so you won't see that option in the app anymore. What we will be doing instead, very soon on the boarding pass, the Ocean Ready Pass that's on the homepage, you will see, in addition to the name and the ship and the stateroom number and the deck number, we're adding in the check-in window time. So when does the terminal open and when does the terminal close? And as long as you've got that information and pay attention to that, you can come at the beginning of that window, you can come towards the end of that window, and we will take care of you.
This is great. I think it removes a lot of angst, especially when you're traveling in groups, which many people do, family groups.
Right.
You know, you're all like, what time are you arriving? What time are you arriving? Now,
right.
Got the window, you can come in and everybody can show up when they need to.
Exactly.
I think it's a lot easier.
Pressure is off you. We will make sure that we accommodate you.
Seamless.
Seamless.
Seamless, streamlined options, which is what our guests want. And I just want to confirm the medallion shipping in Canada is US dollars. That was 15 US dollars.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that question come up. There's a lot of reasons for us to leave our kind of universal currencies to be generally around USD. It's how the ships that are operating in Canada are still operating with USD on board. Just from the unsexy stuff, the accounting and everything,
the
keeping
behind
things straight with the behind the scenes is remaining in USD. So yes, and it will be clear on the app. I think in the current state, it just has the dollar symbol, but we're making it so that it's dollar symbol USD, so that it's clear and understood by anybody looking at it that yes, this is in fact USD.
Thank you. What if the medallion doesn't get here? One last question, because you know it's technical. This would happen to me, Marcia. What if I ordered and it didn't get to me in Canada?
The pariah, Carmen, this scenario. If that happens, so we have a very sophisticated supply chain organization that is constantly monitoring and understanding the movement of our medallion fulfillment process, both from a guest home standpoint and from our ports. If a package does not arrive to the guest in time, first and foremost, that medallion will be made available at the pier for them. And if it truly did not arrive in time, we will make sure that if there was a charge, that charge gets refunded through working with the onboard teams for whatever ship that guest is getting on. And if there was no charge for Plus and Premier, that obviously would not be a factor. So we have nothing but ways to accommodate the case of a package not arriving in time, or what happens more commonly is somebody left earlier on their vacation, a week early to Vancouver and or to wherever, and therefore wasn't home when the medallion got delivered at 6 days prior to the cruise. So that does happen sometimes, and that's why we strongly encourage the guests to provide their, if they're on independent air, to provide their travel information in the optional section of Ocean Ready as well. The more we
Fantastic.
know about the guest travel plans, the more we can accommodate them and help them in the day one experience.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Miles.
This is
Absolutely.
fabulous. What a great way to
Yeah.
start our webinar, right?
I'm
So
so, so,
fantastic.
so excited, Carmen, and I cannot thank you
Oh,
enough for having me on here to share
Canada.
this news.
I was looking for my Canada pin, but I couldn't find it. I only found
Oh,
my princess pin. Next time, I promise. Thank you, Miles. I know Marsha and
Thank you,
I are so
Miles.
appreciative. And thank you, Marsha, because Marsha oversees all of our sales in Canada. So I know this was a passionate play for her, right?
Yes, this
Fantastic.
is huge news.
Fantastic.
Couldn't wait to
thank
share
you.
it. Thank you, Miles, for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to shift now and giving ourselves enough time, even for questions, to really do the deep dive of changes for Princess Plus, right? And
Yeah.
really understanding the new Princess Plus. And then I think we're going to do a little tour of OneSource cruises as well, where to find based on questions. But I guess I want to start by saying the feedback I've received, okay? And I want everybody to understand because we don't minimalize how you are feeling or how your clients are feeling. I
Right.
have empathy. I totally understand. Change is hard. And I've heard all of you say, well, why didn't you just grandfather it in? Why did you have to start now in August? Why couldn't you have just started in January of 2024? You know, and there are many operational reasons why. And I know it's like back a house, right? It's really complicated that would have caused even more service failures, and we cannot afford that, right? So we want to make sure we're setting ourselves up for success and setting the onboard team, our family on board, our teammates for success as well. But we hear you loud and clear. We take that feedback. Do not think for a second that we are ignoring it. We hear you. We understand it. So let's do the deep dive because I continue to say it pays to plus. And believe me, I don't look at social
Because
platforms,
it
but I
does.
know others
And
do.
it's a
It does
fact.
pay to plus.
Yeah.
And we're going to show why, right?
Yeah.
And then we also address, because this is your favorite point, right? You
Jeez.
know, the whole what if I don't drink right? Right?
Yep.
Okay. So
So first question is, what's the difference between Plus and Premier? So we'll do a little bit of a dive on that. We think you guys know all this, so we won't spend too much time there. But you guys know that for $60 a day, you now have the three main and core elements of our package are the beverage package, the Wi-Fi, and the gratuities. Right? That's the core. That's what everybody wants, and that's why this package was built around the most popular items. And then we added recently casual dining. Two casual dinings included, premier desserts, the juice bar, the fitness classes. Room service delivery is now part of the new change, and Ocean Now delivery. And we'll go into a little more depth on that.
yes, because I got comments about this new casual dining, right? So I want to talk about
Yes,
that because that's like the 800-pound gorilla in the room. And,
yes,
you know, you're poking the bear, and I want to make sure people understand because so Alfredo's and Gigi's, right? Okay.
yes,
That's the only change on this casual dining.
it is. Yeah, but it is also caused probably the most concern, right? But
Correct.
Alfredo's and Gigi's, you still have the option to go there. All of the casual dining locations that are listed here for you already had a nominal charge, right? But what we did do was create a prefixed menu opportunity, which actually is a better deal than doing the individual a la carte purchases. So for $14.99 per meal per person, you get the appetizer, the entree, and then a dessert. And if you were to buy those things individually, the $14.99 is a better deal. So that was already happening at Salty Dog, the sushi, all of the other specialty places, right? And then what we've added to this now is Alfredo's and Gigi's.
And I want to talk about this operationally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this
Yes,
is this is the question that I got. And everybody loves Alfredo's and Gigi's. I love it too.
yes,
I love pizza. I'm
yes,
passionate about it. Obviously, the complimentary dining remains, and I'm going to focus on what you just said. Those casual dining options,
yes,
except for Alfredo's and Gigi that we added, already had a charge, correct?
yes, yes,
So the change is that. So let me just tell you from my personal experience, and this is the kind of feedback we've heard. There, folks that would stand in line to go to Alfredo's for pizza. Let's just say you might have stayed an
yep,
hour, you wait an
mm-hmm,
hour and a half. People get frustrated. They, you know, it's free, so you've got a lot of
mm-hmm,
folks that come. In
yes,
addition, the other thing I
true,
saw when you get on, you know, we only serve full pizzas there, right? We don't serve
right,
slices.
Right.
And so what would I see? I'd see people ordering full pizzas, which is fine, but they'd eat one slice or two, and then we had all that pizza left
Waste.
over, right? And we got people
Yeah.
waiting. And I mean, I'm being, I have no other way to be than
Mhm.
completely honest that that was literally what I assessed in my first 90 days. And it's spectacular up there. We're not saying we're doing away with pizza, folks. You can still get pizza. Okay. And we
And you
added
still get
these to
pizza by the
plus.
slice at Slice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Upstairs, which
Mhm.
is by the way where
Yep.
I get mine, just so you know,
Yep.
because when I'm out and about in the pool, I don't want to go downstairs. I want to stay upstairs. I really do.
Yes.
That's just me. It's a personal thing. But let's
Yep.
continue. Just wanted to
Yep.
throw that in there because that seems to be a pain point, right? So I
It
want
is.
them to
It is.
understand the two operational things. Number one, you complain if you have to wait an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I've had that. I've had those complaints, and then I've
Yeah.
also folks that say, "Oh, people are there and we're waiting in line, and they only, they ordered a pizza and they had one slice or two slices, and they're still, you know, waiting."
Yes.
So I'm just sharing that.
So
Go ahead,
it
Marsha,
is.
because you're the voice of reasoning.
Okay. I'm trying. And then we had the specialty dining, which we've always had. The great meals that you can have there from $35 per person, right? And again, and we'll talk benchmarking because that is a steal, that deal. Experiential dining, so we've got 360, the chef's table, the winemaker's dinner, which I've heard great things about. All of these things have already been in the works, and we've just compartmentalized and put them in sections where we can speak to them very easily.
And the
So
360 experience is by invitation only. I want everybody to
it
know that
is,
that cannot. It is a
it is,
priceless experience. I have
it
yet
is.
to experience. Have you?
I
Did
have.
you?
I did
Oh,
have
thanks,
the
Marsha.
opportunity to
Marsha.
experience.
Marsha
Sorry,
gets everything.
it was on the
I'm
Global
so
Marketing
Jan.
Summit, and it was so amazing. It was so amazing. So it is
Okay.
priceless, and I'm glad that it's invitation only. I hope that
For
everyone gets to
sweet guests.
experience at some point. Yes. Okay, and then Premier, right, is the $80 per day, and it gets everything that our Plus gets with more, right? So casual dining is unlimited for Premier guests. Specialty dining, they get two specialty dining experiences included. We include the Princess Prizes, the photo package, which I hear a lot of rave reviews about. It's just so seamless. The medallion accessory and the reserve seating in the theater. Again, Carmen has heard lots of great feedback on the reserve seating as well. So honestly, it pays to Plus, but it also really pays to Premier as well, right? There's a lot there. If you want seamless and unlimited casual dining, this is where you go, is to the Premier.
This is where I pause. I think you muted me, Marsha. You see how she
Did
works,
I?
folks?
I didn't mute
Powerful.
you.
No, I muted myself, but that's
Oh,
okay. I'm sure our travel partners wish I'd mute myself more often, but I'm not because here's why. So I talk about this, and we're going to talk about it. And I promise we're not going to go lengthy in it because last time we ran out of time. But I think it's
yes.
important to understand, and I know how passionate our guests feel and our travel advisors feel about our brand, and therefore we never want to do anything that takes away that incredible, love. And we don't want to disenfranchise anybody, right? Ever. But I always talk about the experience of when you do plus. And by the way, plus is, $60 per person per day. And you get,
Mhm.
let's just say, glass of wine, which I love, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
$15 a glass. Well, but I also get my lattes. I also get my bottled water. I get juices. I mean, whether I want the premium desserts or not, it's fine. But then I will go and take these fitness classes because I'm going to need it because they are beautiful. And we've taken a lot of, but
yeah.
if I were to have just 4 glasses of wine a night, and you've been with me, Marsha, is that possible?
I don't think so.
Thank you. That would be $60 right there. And that's not even including my Wi-Fi, which I cannot live without. I remember, and this will date me 42 years back, when you wanted to go on a cruise and not be in touch, and I would have to go to the radio room upstairs or 1-800 C call that would cost me like $25 for like a 2-minute call to my parents. You got
Yes.
to have the Wi-Fi. You got to have the gratuities. You're going to pay them anyway. And by the
Anyway,
way, our package, the up to $15, and when we're doing it on the Premier package, up to $20, that includes gratuities already. The service charge is included.
yeah.
On
You're not charged separately.
other brands, it is above and beyond. It is additionally. So we've got this comparison sheet, and I got to tell you, it was important to me. This is eye opening, and I know Joe says we don't have enough time to go into deep detail, but I can tell you, um, based on the delivery for room service, it does pay to plus. And then the 14.99 one-time fee, right, for the medallion
I
class app
did
to
add
get
some slides in
right.
here, Carmen, too.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Let's
hmm
go to it because these I
So
didn't see, so I want to make sure.
basic fare, right? Just the basic fare alone is already a deal, right? In comparison to what other brands are offering. So Princess Plus is at 60, Premier's at 80. Some competitors, other competitors, Brand C at 80, and not giving you as much as our $80 opportunity. And then Brand N at 53.80 and Brand R, not really a bundle, but if you were to add all those things up, it's $122 to $197 per guest per day. Crazy.
Beyond. I want Joe to do just one on this, one webinar dedicated to this because
Yes.
I cruise a lot of folks. You know that. I have conferences all over. We have one of our very good, our national account directors on a conference right now. She sent me a little text and said, "Do you know that they're charging me for my cookie $2.50?" I said, "Okay, what
Wow.
am I going to say?" Yeah,
Yeah.
just thought I'd throw that in there. But I'm not going to
So
be
you've
mean
already
spirited.
spoken to this about the beverage component, the $15 and
Yes.
the 20, but it's here as well. And these are just breakouts of what was on that last slide, and there'll be a QR code again at the end in case you missed it. But you go to that flyer and you can see very easily that we have the best value. It's actually very apparent
Bar none.
on bar none on what's included. So we're going to pop through this really quickly. Um, But again, you can use that QR code and go do a deep dive. And as Carmen said, we'll spend more time on this next time as well. We do want to get to your questions. So, are reservations needed for casual dining? So no, you actually cannot make a reservation. It's just arrive at the time that you'd like to dine. And because there's these the preset charges, which were again on all of the other restaurants, Gigi's and Alfredo's being new, it's also giving us the ability to serve more people. Right, you're actually able to get in at the time that you show up, and you decide I want to, sit down with my family and have, share a pizza.
But that's always been that way, right, Marcia? They've
Always
never
been
had
that
to
way.
make reservation. Okay, so that is not a
No,
change, ladies and
not a
gentlemen.
change.
Okay,
Nope,
I want to make
not a
sure I
change.
highlight where we're not changed because all of a sudden people think we've changed everything and we have
Yeah,
not. By the way, the other thing that I hear folks talk about is will we be adding more casual meals for longer cruises? We took that under advisement. I said that
that's
last
true.
webinar.
Yeah.
Remember, we just launched this, folks. So if you
hmm
think you're wrapping your arms around it, how about operationally on board our amazing, amazing teammates, right?
Yes.
They're wrapping their arms around it. And by the way, their sole purpose and goal is to serve our guests, to have you in the embrace of our amazing princess family on board. That is their
Yes.
goal. They want you to be happy. We want you to be happy. So we will adjust. Everything's we all of this feedback has been taken back. Trust me. I feel like I'm a journalist, which is a fabulous thing. So I wanted to throw that in there. Okay, this is good one because this one I get all the time. Right,
Yes.
the part about our clients don't drink alcohol, right?
Yep.
Let's talk about just
So
some of these things.
yeah, so I have family friends that have done the math. He's actually retired accountant, so he knows his value. And he's like, I'm just going to be drinking water, and I think that this is still a great deal, right? Because of the amount of water that I drink. So, but we did ask Joe, and he gave us this great slide here where he breaks down like somebody who just enjoys non-alcoholic beverages per day. So you have one specialty coffee, a flavored coffee, large bottle of water, a Red Bull energy drink, a mocktail, a fountain soda. Like if you're not drinking alcohol, this is probably very doable, right? And that alone is 32.47 per day, right? Whereas if you were to actually buy the package, it's 63.46, but it includes all of these other things. Wi-Fi, you're probably going to purchase anyway. Gratuity, you are absolutely going to show the love for the crew. And then the drinks, you're only paying 32.47 actually, but when you break it out, right? So it is worth it. And then you could actually have 2 large bottles of water and not worry about it, right? So it's definitely a deal, whether you drink alcohol or not.
Important.
Yes.
Important. And you talked about the three anchor things. I think that's important. First of all, I do a lot of bottled water. Remember, when it's
Hmm.
hot. If I'm gonna, even in Alaska, when it's not hot, you're still gonna be doing a lot of
You
bottled
should be
waters. I
drinking
love
water.
my
I
coffees.
drink
Of
lots of
course, I
water.
gotta
Yeah.
hydrate. I gotta
Yeah.
hydrate. I love my lattes in the morning, and I have more than one. I normally do two or possibly three, but for your protection, I'll keep it to two. Okay, so
Yes.
if a person booked Princess Plus at the $60 rate before these recent changes, will they get these new benefits? That's a great
Yes.
question.
So, yep, we want to clarify this. So, it is about a point in time. So, December 14th, 2022 was when we made our change for the packages. So, if they made their booking on or before on or after December 14th, 2022, that means that they paid the $60 rate and that all of these changes they have the benefits of. They don't have to do an upgrade. They don't have to do anything different. They get all the benefits.
Simple. What I want to tell our
Simple?
travel partners is this, because we do a lot of fare codes. Let me remind everybody,
Yeah.
Plus started at 40, then it went to 50, then it went to 60. Premier
Yeah.
started at 75, then it went to 80. Many of
Yeah.
our travel partners that have groups booked, remember when you book a group, it's a moment in time. So if you book that group before
Yes.
December 14th and has the old pricing, you must check that group contract. Because if you're making a booking today, it ties into that date of booking. Am I right or
Correct.
wrong on that?
You are
Okay,
right.
so
Yes.
let's move it on because I want to make sure it's truth in advertising.
Yes.
Okay, how can we tell what our clients have? This I get it all the time. The new Plus or Premier, and she did a great job last time, Jen, but we were kind of
Yes.
slow and we did it at the beginning. So I want to make sure we move through this because they've seen
Yes.
it, but I want to make
Mhm.
sure we just show it to them because it was one of the questions we received.
Yes. So in Polar Online, you can go into your guest or your client's booking, and then go to. Oh, this is so small I can't see it. You go into the booking for modify, right? And under your passenger information, and at the bottom of that page, there's a radio button for special request/gifts. So you click on that button, and it's going to take you to the special service, what we call special service items, special request/gifts, and there's a list here, a listing. So if the booking was made before December 14th of 2022, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the things that were included originally, right? Crew appreciation, um, the medallion, Wi-Fi, one device, and it's just very simple information here. It'll stand out more when I show you the new, because the new has all of the great features. So if you booked after December 14th of 2022, what you're going to see are these extra additions to the programming that we added as of December 14th. That's the fitness classes, the premium desserts, um, the medallion shipping is also now included. And so you can tell by the fact that they have these extra items here. The same for Premiere. So that was Plus, and this is now for Premiere, right? So Premiere looks very different. It still has the photo package. That was always a part of the program offering. But what was new is the premium desserts, the fitness classes, the medallion accessory that's included, and then the reserve seating. So you can also tell here that they now have all of the new features.
That's very helpful. Okay, can they upgrade? This is another one that I got last week a lot. Can we upgrade our
Yes,
because we love when they use Polar, right? Self-service. And
correct.
by the way, I have great news this week. Our
Hmm.
support call hold times have gone down, which is phenomenal. So I'm super happy, and we heard you about that too. So we're making all the changes, routing, et cetera, to address that, right? Because we hear you.
Yes,
Can we upgrade clients on Polar Online to either the Premier or Plus package? How
yes.
easy is it?
So it's easy. There's a listing on OneSource of what the codes are. And in the booking flow, there's an option to add the offer code. And when you add this offer code, it's going to add the description that you've selected here. Here, this is hot off the press, Carmen. One of our sister offices shared with us the fact that they've made an enhancement so that on the offer code section, they now have a drop down that creates this list of offer codes for us, and we're going to be adding that very soon so that you don't have to reference a separate
Fantastic.
sheet. It's going to be right there for you to be able to see it. So coming
Oh,
very
that's
soon, that's
wonderful.
coming. Yeah, but we
Love
do
that
have a separate
enhancement.
sheet until.
Okay, so hopefully
Yes,
by the next time we have a webinar, beat, beat,
yes,
fast,
yes.
fast, let's get it done. Okay, can you please clarify this? I got it too. This the charges for room service versus the charges on Ocean Now in the Medallion Class app.
Yes. So what I think has been confusing, and hopefully I'm going to get this right, what from the majority of the questions that I'm hearing, there's questions about the use of the Ocean Now versus ordering something for root service, and what are the different charges, right? So just think of it this way. If you order room service from your stateroom, you pick up the phone and order room service from the phone with the crew member on the other line, that's a $5 charge unless you have Plus or Premier. If you have Plus or Premier, there's no $5 charge. So basically, only if you book standard does the $5 room service charge apply. Now,
The
I can't say this
$60
enough.
plus and the $80 Premier room service is always
Includes,
complimentary. And
correct.
by the way, unlike others that charge $9.95
Hmm.
every time plus service, we do not. It's a flat charge. We're not adding you
Yes,
service of any kind. Okay, really important. Some of these
yes,
competitors do $7.95, $9.95, and you pay an additional 18% on top of it.
correct. There's not additional service or service percentages added to this. It's $5, right? And then Ocean Now is separate. So that is about ordering things wherever you are via the Medallion app, right? So Ocean Now, if you have purchased standard with us, then it's a one-time $14.99 charge to use Ocean Now. Only the Ocean Now feature, which is the on-demand ordering of food and beverages to wherever you are, right? All the other features of the Medallion app are still included, right? If you have Plus or Premier, there is no $14.99 to use Ocean Now. It's included.
It pays to plus, it pays to premier. So if you're in standard, you pay a one-time fee, folks. I've seen a lot out there, folks saying $14.99 every time I use it. No, one time. Room service. This is a big one too, right? Because Princess Standard, again, it's the $5 charge. That's it. $5 when you
Yeah.
pick up that phone and hit that room service button. If you do not have Plus or Premier 6080, that's what we're talking about. And there you
Yes.
just talked about Ocean Now.
Yep. Upgraded packages are commissionable. Yes. So it increases the commission. I also have news for you. So we know, because I hear this also from our travel advisors, that we pay commission at final payment, right? So once final payment's made, we automatically send that out to you. And it doesn't matter when final payment is made. Once final payment's made, we send your commission. If there are upgrades that happen after final payment, that's currently sitting on the booking and it would automatically get paid to you when we do our voyage audit. But we have a request in, and I just heard that we've pushed this up the queue to rerun our commission payments so that you do not need to call us or ping us or chat or ask for those commissions to be paid early. We're going to come up with a time frame and we're going to pay
Very
those
helpful.
at another time and we'll do it early. Coming soon,
Okay.
more to share.
Wonderful. Where can I get more information about these packages? Because everybody asks me that, right? Or I have oh, this is good. This one's a good one. Because I
Yes.
get this all the time. The first and
Mhm.
second must have plus or must have premier. They cannot
Correct.
just have
Yes.
one guest. Okay.
Yes. But we are hearing you. And I do know that, I don't know if we'll be able to figure it out, but I do know they're looking at this specific situation. So if you have an adult and then the second person in the cabin is a child, rest assured they're not getting a package that includes alcohol, right? They're going to get a version that is only soda because of their age. But we also hear you that you're like, well, I don't think that we should have to pay the same exact price if that person isn't of age, right? So that's being looked at, and hopefully we'll have something to share about that coming soon as well.
Fantastic. Again, that comes straight from your feedback, folks.
Yep.
We have people doing social listening. So where can I
Yes.
get more information on these packages, which is really great? I know we do our QR codes. It's got all
Yeah.
the Plus and Premier FAQs on it. I keep saying it pays to Plus because it really does. I think it's really important to understand that.
Right.
And we're going to keep talking about this. Give us your feedback. What do you want to see in the next webinar, which by the way happens to
Yep.
be on September 7th. You
Yep.
imagine? We're going to be in
Yeah.
September already. It's crazy.
Now,
But
Carmen,
this
I
really
got to
tells
ask
you
you a
everything.
question.
Go
I
ahead,
want to
ask
ask
me
you a
anything.
question.
Yeah.
So we're at time, right? How much time do we have?
No, we got
We
10
got 10 minutes.
minutes. 10 minutes in my
Okay.
life is 10.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? That's like 10 months in anybody else's life.
Okay.
Go.
So we're going to bring our very, very, very special guest. I wish I knew how to do a drum roll for
Ooh.
him because Joe Franco is the man behind the curtain that really makes all of this run and work for us. He does a phenomenal job. He's beloved by our entire team. He's joining us and he's going to go live and show you some items on OneSource.
Wow. Go, Joe. It's all you. I'm muting myself. Welcome, folks. He's a crowd favorite. Okay. Remember, we're in San Francisco last year? Everybody wanted to see Joe. And there he
Yeah,
is.
we get Joe live. Hi, Joe.
Hello, hello. Sorry, my
Welcome.
screen
He's not
is,
just a voice; he's an actual person.
as Carmen always says, it's always technical. My screen's not coming up. Do you guys see it?
Not yet, but I think it was taking a minute to load.
Yeah, it
Let me see if there's
was.
other, while we're waiting, I'll
Oh,
see if
there it
there's some more
is.
features.
Okay.
Okay, good.
All right. So we won't have time to do the full deep dive of OneSource, but there's so many tools and tricks and things that you should know about that'll save you a ton of time. Starting with just the sign up sheet or the login. You've got right here, if you look at the bottom, and I think you guys can see the little red mouse. I tried to make it bigger,
Yeah.
but there's
Take us
a lot
out,
of
Joe, and
times.
just show your screen.
Oh, good idea. There
It'll
we
make
go.
it bigger. There we go.
All right. So first thing I want to, one of the questions that comes on the chat all the time is how can I find my rep or my BDM? You don't even have to log in to do that. You can find your rep just right off the login, but we'll move past that right now. And I'm going to kind of whip through some stuff really quickly. And that'll be broken out by, wow, I don't even know my password.
It's always technical.
Okay, there we
There
go.
we go.
So just want to run through the home page just for the starters, for this to start off. Okay, so this is the carousel up here at the top. And a lot of you know this, but a lot of you might just miss these little arrows here. So we have other important notices, like if you were interested in Love Fest or seminars at SEAS, you can scroll through this. So it's not just the three things at the top. And then here, if you've never noticed, we have this like little news feed here, this bar, and things scroll through there. But if you click on View All News, you may have never noticed this, all the press releases that recently came out. So if you're interested in our Antarctica release, it's here. Also, all the newsletters are here. Now they expire, the newsletters, after about 3 months, but you can find everything right here. So if you missed a newsletter and you want to sign up for a webinar or something, or get some sales tools off it, you'll find it right there. Okay, let's go back to the homepage. Just a couple
Great
other
tip.
things I want. Yeah. So some of the things that you use most, we've added to the homepage, like things like all the stuff that we were just talking about for Pay to Plus. Like if you want the FAQs or the fare code chart, this will get you to all the tools. Okay. So some of this is all up here, ordering brochures, our time-saving tips, which have videos like the one in our last webinar with Jen showing you how to do a lot of common tasks in Polar. Okay, here's a few others, our destination page, medallion class, our new stuff on Sun Princess. Now, one thing I wanted to show you is down here, we also have Find Your Rep, but there's also one here that says Contact Us. And this is a ton of information. It'll link you to the well, it's taking a little time here, but it'll link you to finding your business, your BDMs. See, there's Marcia. But when you go to it, let's go back to it. It also has a lot of different numbers that might save you time. OneSource assistance, booking assistance. I could probably make it a little larger.
There we go. That's good, Joe.
Yeah. Let's see, reservations, customer relations, medallion class app, Captain Circle, and on, weddings and so forth. So it's a very valuable tool. So let's go into what we have here at the top on the homepage. Just wanted to people don't have time to always go through and search through this page. Fortunately, it's part of my job, I guess, for you, fortunately, not part of mine. But you'll find, like, training. We have probably the best training in the cruise industry in terms of what we offer.
Award-winning.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, and Travel Weekly's doing their voting now, so make sure, travel agent programs, put us down. But you'll see here, we've got the Academy, which has probably 40 different courses, including the Alaska Expert Program, which you get a certificate and a pin and so forth. that's a real concentrated deep dive on Alaska, which, as you know, we're #1 in Alaska, won it the last 19 times from Travel Weekly. Okay, moving on to a couple other things. We have live training, of course, webinars. Okay, you can find all the old webinars here, and we have them dated back to 2022. So there's tons of stuff there under webinars. And oops, why did I do that? What I was going to say about webinars is, just for you guys, we're going to start putting the link to registering for the webinars on that page. So this is going to be one of the ways to kind of close the ranks for registering. Only travel agents can get there, so only travel agents will be able to register. Seminars at Sea, Love Fest. Again, just different training opportunities. And you'll see in a minute, we have some new dates coming up. Our time-saving tips are there. And then Princess Sales Secrets, which are our videos from our BDMs with all kinds of ideas on, what to pack, group tips, and so forth. Anyways, okay, so that is our training element. And there's a lot of great stuff there. I wanted to just run quickly through all this, and I could spend hours doing it, but we don't have the time. First of all, when you go under sales and marketing, we have 4 buckets. Okay, sales program, starting at the left, limited time offers. This is where you're going to find all the LTOs. Okay, these are what's in market right now. But at the same time, if you're looking for those weekly deals and stuff, we have all kinds of stuff, including solo traveler rates, different
We get
Best
asked about
Buys.
that all the time. So definitely pay attention here, because solo travel rates are very popular.
Exactly. And people, they just miss it. They go to limited time offers and think we don't have any. It's just your eye. It just goes right past the weekly deals, but there's a ton of stuff there. Marketing materials, okay? Everything here is important. And we could spend a whole webinar on these, but some of the things I want to call
Whole
out
webinar
first,
on this.
obviously. Oh, yeah. Well, first thing, we just changed our ordering system. And so we have brochures. We have, our Princess Experience brochure. We've got a great Sun Princess pamphlet, posters, postcards, letterhead. Anyways, if you're having any trouble with it, we have a nice little tutorial video right here. And you just click through. It's the same as ever, but it's much more streamlined and easier to use. So that's important for that. Destinations. This is a great one. Okay, we've got tons of stuff. I don't even know where to begin, but I'll say, if you're interested in our new programs, we made it easy to find the stuff. Just go to our new programs. Japan just went on sale. Alaska just went on sale. And we have all the tools there, including, if you look right here, we combine all the tools into one download. So we try to make it easy for you. So if you download the toolkit, you're going to get everything there. Oh boy, we're already out of time. Wow.
We're a minute away, so I want everybody to know about our best price guarantee, right? Which is coming through
Yeah.
October 31st. That's incredible with our Labor Day sale.
Yeah, we should, let
a
me switch
lot.
to you, Marcia.
Okay,
by the
well, I
way,
got to move
you,
forward.
you mentioned the highlights, right? Because we've got South America and Antarctica, because there's another brand that left South America, folks. We're still in South America. Do not forget us if you still have
And
clients interested.
yep, and we still have an early booking deal going on for South America.
Correct. Correct. I think it's till Friday, if I'm not mistaken, right? That's what I thought.
Yep. So Love
Fantastic.
Fest. Here's
Still
a QR
happening.
code. Still happening. Love letters.
That's the unique one, right? So that
Yeah.
one starts right after Labor Day. So I'm super excited. That's why I was wearing the red. So we've already received like 100 and plus love letters. And starting September 7th, which is our next webinar, 2 weeks from now, have a great Labor Day, everybody. We will be picking a winner, right? So I'm super excited about that. There's a QR code. Follow it down.
I love this
And you know what
idea.
I tell you,
Seminars.
everybody, we got seminars at sea, Marcia. Just go right through it, because
Okay.
we've always called those out. The ones that I want to talk about, some Princess we know about. We got a brand new ship coming, folks. And last week I was at a conference and nobody knew those 10-day voyages are amazing, amazing. And then we just talked about very important Japan, right? Beautiful, beautiful. We're open for 25 early booking offer.
We're going to have to
Really,
do a
really
deep
excited.
dive on Japan and
We
partner
do.
with our National Tourism Board for Japan because they're
Japan
fantastic.
Tourism Board, yeah, because
Hmm.
that early booking offer is in play through September 15th. So you have to book through September 15th, which I think is important.
Yep.
And
We
then
talked about South America already,
we
but
did. We another brand left. We're still there, folks. Just want you to know. And 24, 25, South America and Antarctica has an early booking offer, which is, I think is
it
phenomenal.
ends on the 25th. So you only got a couple more days to get in on that deal.
Let's make it happen. And then
Hmm.
I've got Canada, New England, right? The highlights. Folks still don't know. New home port of Boston.
Round trip
Round trip.
Boston.
No air, folks. You don't have to go to New York. I had an amazing agency owner from Boston. He had no idea that we had this. And he's so excited because some of his guests says, they don't want to fly. So we've got it. New Boston home port with Yorktown. Okay. So it's absolutely gorgeous. And new sailings, which is like the American Heritage sailing. Absolutely beautiful highlights. And we announced Port Canaveral. I'm hoping it's in here because that's big,
It
near
is.
and dear to my
Oops,
heart. There it
sorry.
is.
We're glitchy.
Hold it. It's gorgeous. Port Canaveral, folks. We announced it before anybody else said they'd follow us. Incredible. And that's fall of next year. So I wanted everybody to know. See? And we were only 2 minutes over, Marcia. And of course, our Labor Day sale really happening. And we have the best price guarantee. So I think we have to talk about that when
We
we start
do.
the next webinar, okay? Because this is through October 31st, and I think it's great. It's up to 50% with the best price guarantee. And I mean, I'm telling you, we've gotten such great feedback
So that's
from our
insider
sales. Like,
scoop
great.
because
Uh
this
huh.
was going to end in September, and we're telling you first
Shh,
that
don't
it's
tell anybody.
extended until October 31st. It's going to have a little more time.
Kind of like Miles gave us insider scoop. I love it. Okay.
Yes.
We did it, Joe. Okay. We took a lot of
I'm going to go
questions
here in
throughout.
case
I want to
anyone.
thank the team. The team was amazing, Marsha. I don't know how they did it. I know we have Cindy on
I
there. We
know.
have Wendy on there. Oh my God, they did an amazing job. Stephanie, dare I say,
Stephanie.
who doesn't want anybody to know her name. Oh,
Yeah.
Princess
And
Social
two
Team.
Cindys, Cindy B and
Two
Cindy W.
Cindy's. Oh, Cindy B is on. She's on a conference. I
She
didn't think
helps.
she'd have
She helps
Wi-Fi.
us. She helps. Oh, well,
I'm
she may not be on
impressed.
right now, but she helps us
Yeah.
in our little committee on topics and pulling all this information together for everybody. So
And of
thank you
course,
to that team.
everybody's favorite. That's you, Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. Don't leave me alone ever again. Okay. So I don't have to deal with Buffy or Puff. What is it? Fluffy, bushy. I don't even know. Whatever it is. I want to thank our travel partners. I really do. We listen to your feedback. Please let us have it. Wherever we can adjust, we will. We talk to our teams. You're the reason we do this. And it's your clients that you entrust to be our guests that make sure Marsha, myself, and Joe are still employed. So we really appreciate that. Everybody, thank you for joining us. And we'll see you on the 7th of September with love letters.